we have, lucky, we have 2 certificated intervention staff and then 1 ELL certificated intervention staff that is their whole job, is to provide intervention support, which is great. But, you know, they can't pull, I don't want kids pulled out, I want kids in Tier 1. So they support Tier 1 instruction. They go into classrooms during Tier 1 instruction, they co-teach with teachers, they model teach with the teachers, they cannot be used as a para, but they 100% support the Tier 1 instruction. Sometimes they're gathering materials for teachers. It just depends on what the teachers and the grade level need, but they are 100% supporting Tier 1. And then they pull small groups too, so they do see kids. That's another important part to me, is that you have these experts who are really good at intervention. I want them seeing kids and not just doing data or other things. And then you listen and determine needs. So when the teachers tell me we need more work in math, I figure out, okay, what's going to give us the most bang for our buck? And we do a book study. Or we need to have this handwriting without tears program. Okay, I need to get handwriting without tears, but then I expect you to use it. So as soon as I buy it, I'll buy it, but then you use it. And so that's kind of the agreement that we have. And they know when they come to me and they justify a need, they'll have it. So a lot of our building budget is spent on things that the teachers need, which I know it shouldn't sound really shocking, but my secretary said, you know, we never bought books for teachers. We never bought anything for teachers. We always just said, no money for that, no money for that. When really there is money for that. You have to make trade-offs, and you don't get to buy other things. And I don't usually wait for the district to buy it, because sometimes in a bigger district it takes a little longer to get things rolling. And I'm a little bit annoyed, this is my personal story, I'm a little annoyed right now because we did 2 math book studies last year, and I bought them all Orgo kits, and now the district is buying those same 2 books and Orgo kits for everybody in the district this year, except for my building, because we already have them, and we had to spend all of our own money last year, and I haven't been able to convince them that they need to pay me back for it, but really they should. The other thing is creativity and peer observation. So at Eastmont, we cannot take workshop days because we don't have subs. And so basically our teachers, if they have professional development, it's after the school day or on Saturdays or in the summer. And so it's really put a damper on how we can get professional development. It can be, and I've been very, very creative with moving other people around and having them cover classrooms so teachers can go watch this teacher teach, and they can go then maybe and pair kids up. We'll put 3 classes together so that 2 teachers could go and watch 1 teacher model. And that has been incredibly powerful for the teachers to be able to see peers in their own buildings doing great, great things. And you know, even without subs, it can be done. You just have to be a little bit more creative with how you're going to do it. And then focus on culture at every meeting, with the vision. And one of the things on my evaluation as a principal, what's on all of our evaluations at Eastmont, is the graduation rate to the high school. And at first, when the superintendent said that's going to be part of our evaluation, so if graduation goes up at the high school level, we get like a little positive point. All right, graduation went up. And I did tell Darn last year that I graduated 100% of my kids in elementary school. And he said, yeah, but that's not the graduation rate we're talking about. We're talking about the high school, and I knew that. But I was trying to kind of make a point. And at the same time, I do like what he has to say, because everything that we do right now in elementary school has that effect in high school. And so the more I thought about it, I thought that's a pretty good idea. And so we have tied our school-wide goals to how our 3rd and 4th graders do on SBAP. And so our K-1-2 teachers, their goal is to make sure as many kids as possible can pass that Smarter Balance assessment, because that shows that we've done our job. And so even though they're not a 3rd and 4th grade teacher, that's part of their goal. And I think it's a lot like the graduation requirement, and it's made people think a lot further into the future, and yeah, it matters. If our kids aren't reading in 1st grade and 2nd grade, it matters. It's not just, oh yeah, well maybe they'll get it next year, we hope. So it's kind of putting that, I guess, emphasis on what's really important. Okay, scenario 3. This is a good one. So you have classroom teachers, they all agree, you sit in your staff meetings or other meetings that you have, and they all agree on the collective commitments. They're in, they got it. They all agree on the non-negotiable instructional routines. Yep, debate, no objections. You do fist to 5, everybody's a 4 to 5, they're all good. And then they get back to their PLC meetings and it's roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. Nope, can't do it. Nope, can't do it. Nope, can't do it. And then when you visit those same classrooms, you notice it looks significantly different. What are you going to do? Nope. What are you going to do?
She's pre-established rules that she wants.
This is really a perfect question for high school math.
Totally perfect for high school. Very.
I look at 2 high school math teachers right here.
So what do you do?
You go to your high school math department and everybody's teaching completely differently. What are you going to do?
First step is to revisit the agreed upon norms in the minutes from the meeting. Okay guys, this is what we agreed upon, but what I'm seeing when I go into your classrooms is not this. So either we have to get rid of this, or we have to change the structure, and we have to make something we can all think.
Oh, Robert is so thinking something.
He's like, oh gosh, I'm perfect with that. And then it might be individual conversation. Because we have an issue like this in water right now with a certain grade, where it's this is the master schedule.
So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
A lot of individual conversations.
You're in classrooms, what are you going to do? Sit in on PLC meetings, okay? And you think it's going to happen when you're there? Probably not. Everything will be peachy keen, kind of like a staff meeting. Okay? What else are you going to do?
You facilitate instructional rounds targeted at specific teaching strategies that you'd like your teachers to see.
Okay? Great idea. What else? I heard some of you say it. At some point you had that hard conversation that you just point blank say, whenever I go into your classroom, it's nothing like the other classroom. And the teacher, more than likely, will say, yeah, it does. We do the same thing. We plan together. Don't know why it looks different then, because when I walk into these 3, I see fluency, I see phonics instruction going on. When I walk into yours, I don't. I see the kids reading books or, giving specific examples. And then what are you going to do? So teacher, politely disagrees. Well, I don't think that's really true. I think I do it at other times.
I think that so you need to kind of look at the data, that's the piece right there is the proof and the facts right there is the data.
But what if the kids all came in low? Are you going to wait a whole year to look at data?
Yeah.
Okay, so then what are you going to do?
Norm, that's a great one. Together with an opportunity for you guys to disagree. Then by de facto, they've agreed to it and they're going to be accounted to that.
Accountable to that. So, this kind of happened a few times. So basically, PLCs need clear direction, so they need some direction and accountability. So you have to make sure that everybody understands process for PLCs. What I did this year is I assigned RTI staff to attend PLC meetings, and so they are kind of helping direct some of those, especially some of the teams that weren't doing really well. And then all of the noticings that you get from classroom walkthroughs. And I can tell you that one of the things that was big for my teachers was that they wanted to see me in the classroom. They kept saying that, and now I think I'm in the classroom so much that they would rather not see me in the classroom quite as much. But they see me in that classroom. I mean, every classroom, every day, and at least 15 minutes in every classroom once a week. And it takes a lot. And I have to have my little clipboard, and I give myself stickers on my goal chart when I actually do it. And, I mean, it is the corniest thing, but it shows, it helps keep me accountable. I can then say, you know, made my goal this week, what's your goal? And, you know, we have those goal conversations. It's important for them to know that I do a lot of the same things that they do. But if I'm not in classrooms, I'm not seeing it. And if I'm not in classrooms, I can't have those crucial conversations with teachers. And it has to be all day long at different times and almost every single day. And so sometimes it's 1 minute, hey, you know, how you doing? And I've kind of trained the kids, except Kinder, I haven't gotten there yet with them. I've trained the rest of them, don't get distracted from what you're doing, just ignore me. I just prefer to observe. If I need the teacher's attention, I'll tell the teacher. The kindergartners all stop what they're doing still and say hi. They're still so cute right now. It's hard to break when that happens. But the classroom walkthroughs are incredibly important. And then finally, you're going to have to confront the issue at hand. And I mean, that confrontation, I heard some people talk about that. It could be even more than just, you know, those in your classroom. It could be something like, you know, either this year or next year, if you have that option in your agreement, you're going to need to be on the comprehensive plan, even though it's not your year yet. We need to work on some things that I want to help you grow, and this is how we're going to do it. And teachers sometimes see that as a gotcha. And I truly don't believe that it is, but I also believe that if I'm offering support and teachers aren't taking it and they're not rising up to that challenge, then we do have other issues. A few of the teachers have said that I do have very high expectations and it stresses them out a little bit. And I do stress them out a little bit. And I try not to, but at the same time, the way I look at it is I do have high expectations, but I also give them high levels of support. So if they tell me they need something, we get it done. If they tell me they have a problem, we problem solve it. And they know that that's true. They know that when they come to me and they say something, I'm going to do something about it if I possibly can. You know, moving the district or something like that, I can't do that. I can't change our building. You know, there are certain things I can't do much about, but if I can, they know that I will help them. And so they've also learned not to come to me with little things that they didn't really mean that they wanted to do, because I will jump on it and say, yeah, let's do it. And sometimes I think they're a little bit sorry and have some buyer's remorse from some of the things that we've changed. But in the end, for the good of all, it's been really effective. So the way I look at it is if I have high expectations, I do, but I also give you high levels of support, and that's worked so far. And then, actually, we go back. There are some teams, there was one team in particular last year that was so completely dysfunctional at PLCs all year. At the end of the year, I told them, I'm giving you guys 1 more year to pull this together, or I'm moving one of you out of the grade, because I'm not going to keep on doing this. It was so completely dysfunctional, and it was not one person's fault, it was just the whole team. One teacher decided to retire, and it was probably a really good decision, and the whole team dynamic completely changed after that. You know, I've had 2 teachers leave. One retired, one left early last year, and I do think that some of it was the pressure that I put on them, but not pressure in a bad way, just we all need to do this, and this is what all of the rest of your grade level expects you to do. You've agreed to it. If you can't do it, we need to figure out why, and we need to fix it, because it's not okay for those kids in your class to be subpar. It's just not. It's not fair when one class is going to look so completely different than every other class. And I can't then justify to parents and say, oh no, all of our teachers are great. You'd be happy with any first grade teacher you have. And if I can't say that, then it's a problem. And I mean, I don't take parent requests. I don't change kids after the teachers have done their class lists. I just tell them point blank, my teachers put a lot of time into this. Your kid will be getting the same type of education in every single class. And most of the time that's true. A few times I know it's not 100% true, but I also know I'm doing everything I can to make it as true as possible. Okay, last scenario. This is my favorite. Your new school uses Make Your Day, and it's school-wide, but not